All right, metalwork. Well, let's zoom this in a little bit. We're going to go over some of the tools you're going to be using in here, okay? Mainly pliers, okay? These are kind of specialty pliers, all right? And they're jeweler's pliers. They're made specifically for working in jewelry. These are round nose pliers, okay? You can see that the noses are round, all right? These pliers are used to make basically round things in wire. I don't know if you guys can see that, okay, but we'll kind of go over this later. These are what's called chain pliers. You can see the noses are a little bit different, okay? They're more squared and they're flat on the inside. So these are called chain pliers. There are also a couple of different other ones. These are my pliers. These are kind of expensive, okay? These are flat nose, right? You can see that the noses here are, let me see, are flat. They're flat on the inside. These are my chain pliers, same thing as yours, okay? My round pliers. Oops. Okay. And these are just chain pliers with 90-degree angle tips. All right. So these are all jeweler's pliers. They're not designed to be like electrician's pliers or stuff like that. Okay. So these are pliers. The other types of pliers we're going to use around here, maybe like this. Okay, these are all what will be called industrial pliers or working pliers, or they're not jeweler's pliers, they're just regular pliers. These are called lineman pliers. They have flat noses and they have a cutting edge on the inside, okay, but they're called lineman pliers. Usually they're like maybe a lot bigger than this though, all right. These are just basic needle nose pliers because they have pointy noses, right? Needle nose. And these also have a cutting section on the inside, okay? And these are what we just call channel locks. These are adjustable pliers, so they can go big to small. We call them channel locks because they have these channels here that make them adjustable, okay? But these are just, actually these are more like plumbers use these type of pliers to turn pipes and stuff like that. This other type pliers, these are cutters. Okay, we call them, I call them side cutters. I think most people call them side cutters because they cut on one side. Okay, they're kind of flush on one side and like that. Okay, these two are what we call levered or geared. They're not straight access pliers like this. This is a regular plier. Okay, so one side, the other side moves. These are attached to like a gearing system in here, so they have a little bit more power. Okay, so you can see like this one too is like geared. So what happens is when you cut thicker wire like this, sometimes you got to use a lot of effort to cut the wire. Whereas these pliers will just, because they're geared, you can cut them way more easy, okay? So these are geared pliers. This plier here is a jewelry plier. Okay, you cannot use this to cut hard wire like this. If you use it to try and cut hard wire, you're going to damage it, you're going to just ruin it, all right? This is only used to cut soft wire, so like copper, okay, thin wire, or you can cut thinner stainless steel, soft stainless steel with this, okay? The difference in the cutters, let me see, where's my paper, is with these regular cutters, okay, when you cut wire, you're going to cut at an angle. In other words, the end of the wire is going to be angled like this, basically because the way the cutter is angled, okay? With these more expensive cutters, you're going to get a semi-flush or you're going to flush cut. Okay, the thing will cut straight across the wire. We want that in case later on down the line you're going to join the wire together, right? You want two flush ends to touch instead of two angled ends when you join the wire together. Okay, so these flush mounts have a particular purpose. Somebody last year used my flush mount cutters to cut hard stainless steel, and they just ruined all my pliers. These aren't cheap either. These ran about 45 bucks. Okay, so I kind of keep these on the side, really not for you guys to use unless I know what you're going to use them for. The last thing I want to show you is these are your tin snips. They call them snips, tin snips, whatever, but these are used to cut sheet metal. This one is, I don't know, it's in kind of bad shape. I probably have to buy another one. I can see the tips are, the cutting edges already here have been kind of ruined. Okay, so it looked like somebody used it to cut wire. But these can cut metal, okay? So we use them to cut sheet metal. In a pinch, we can use them to cut wire, but really at this point in the way we work is you want to use the correct tool for the job. And this is used to cut sheet metal, okay? I also have a couple of different ones, but this is for you guys. I guess looking at this now, I guess I'll buy another one for you guys to use. One that's a little bit better, okay? So, just recapping again, the pliers you're going to probably end up using, chain pliers, okay? Round nose pliers. Okay, and these round nose pliers also, you cannot use it to work large gauge wire like this, okay? You're going to bend the plier. So these pliers are basically for the smaller gauges, but round nose. Your cutting pliers, okay? So we call side cutters, okay? Your lineman pliers. Needle nose. Channel locks, okay? Let me just show you real quick too. These, like the lineman pliers and the needle nose pliers, instead of doing round work, these are done to make hard corners. So in case you want to bend square stuff, okay? But these are your different types of, and the tin snips. Where did they go? Okay, they're called tin snips. Originally, I guess they were used to cut tin or whatever, but tin snips are just snips. Okay, so your assignment is to name 5 different pliers and give me a brief description or of why they're different or what they're used for. Okay, again, don't forget this is due Friday midnight. If you have any questions, you can email me. Other than that, have a good week.